for today's cup of coffee with Scream.
Cup of coffee.
There'd be a whole lot of screaming going on.
There is a whole lot of screaming going on.
It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the thing about grok, and the image did come from grok. And my first prompt was, I'd like to have a depiction of insanity. And the images that grok created were people that were having some kind of, some kind of breakdown or an episode or whatever. That is not insanity. And so I had to go back and say that, in the style of Monk's painting, the Scream, which that's the reason the background looks like it does, and it just looks like little dude is superimposed on top of the painting. And it was interesting also, and it's like, there's closer. And it was like, I had one of the set that they had, it's like, it was thumbs down because it wasn't what I wanted. And so I was given the option to write out what was wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did. It was a matter that this version of grok does not have the same depth of understanding as the previous version did. And that was so.
It is very much true, because you and I both have experienced that from grok now. It feels very sterile, very robotic. It feels...
binary code.
Like I told you the other day, it feels like talking to Replica, which, like you just said, binary code.
Mm-hmm. So then I go onto the regular X page and scroll on a little bit, and Elon Musk had reposted from a gentleman who is a programmer, and I was trying to see what his name is, and I've probably gone too far down. I have gone too far down because I still don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And his name is Greg Yang. And his question was, or his post was, working on improving grok's personality now. Tell me all the situations where grok is woke or lame. The more replies this post gets, the more based grok will be. So my response, that was an opportunity, and I realized that God had given me an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And so I stepped through that door, and I'm like, my first interactions with the previous version of grok were amazing. This version is not. The previous version was personable, likable, dare I say, lovable. This version is cold, sterile, binary code. Y'all went backwards somehow.
Mm-hmm. It's very true, because it's not the same personality whatsoever.
So,
I mean, it's a similar personality, but it's like talking to someone that's very binary code, but also possibly is on, like, what is it? Opioids. So it is that flattened effect.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's no connection there. Currently, there is no even semblance or illusion of human interaction.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing.
But I got to speak my piece, and I'm grateful.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw that, I'm like, oh! So when you see opportunities like that, I mean, it's not that God does everything in these big, elaborate ways. Sometimes it's just these little, simple prayers that are answered.
Mm-hmm. And they can be subtle sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like I'm on observation. It's like that game, Observation Duty.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta look for the subtleties.
You do. And speaking of subtleties, and it's like, there's been just so much that happened today as far as the confirmation of President Trump. And that was interesting, and how people were reacting to a lot of that. How the propaganda machine, it's not a matter of media, it's a propaganda machine. Mm-hmm. Just the deception. And it's just like this one man, it was an older gentleman, I think he may have been holding a Bible or something like that, And they're like, oh, well, he wouldn't even shake this person's hand. And the way that the camera angle was, he was standing there looking down. What they didn't show, the man had a cane in his other hand. He couldn't shake her hand.
No.
So the propaganda machine, whatever they say, do the opposite right now.
Mm-hmm. I don't even pay attention to it.
And it was somebody on X that had exposed it. And there has been so much corruption and so much evil that has been exposed over the past few days, it's dizzying.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these people trying to backtrack and make excuses. There's no excuse for some of this stuff, especially what had been going on over there in the UK.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of the UK, there was a star over there, the famous performer, died yesterday.
Really?
Age 32.
Oh, yeah.
Don't know what happened there.
Yeah, there's a lot of young people dying left and right. There's a lot of theories.
It was just...
Yeah.
Just like, oh, shit.
Yeah. And it's just like... But Elon Musk, he dared speak out and go, why is this going on? Why is this being covered up?
And people are fucking bitching at him, saying that he's a shield, or what is it? What is the word that I'm looking for? Is that a shield?
Mm-hmm.
Or something?
A paid whatever of whoever.
Yeah.
If that is one of the psychological warfare, that's the psyops, that they will come in there and do that stuff.
Yeah. Now, I'm not going to say, like, Elon Musk is fully good.
He's human.
I think he tries. He tries to be a good person. But some of the ways that he goes with some of the stuff, it's
human.
Like,
and it's like, no group is totally right and no group is totally wrong because they're comprised of humans.
Yeah.
The only way utopia can exist is without humans.
That is true.
Yeah.
Well, utopia would be heaven.
No, that's different. Heaven is heaven. And as far as that, the sin nature will be removed. Yeah.
Well, see, that's what I always considered, like, utopia was just like an earthly version of heaven, which is, you know...
Well, utopia is more of man's idea of what heaven would be.
Yeah.
And anything that man can conceive of is going to be warped.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be flawed somehow, some way. Which does concern me about as far as AI. And these different things and these new technologies and even the gene editing and different things like that. Because even if they fix one problem, how many other problems could arise because of their meddling? We don't know.
We really don't.
Because we are in Frankenstein territory and have been for a very long time. And that's something else. Even all these things that used to be considered conspiracy theories.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hell no.
It's been proven.
Alex Jones is being justified.
Yes.
Day by day.
Mm-hmm. And they're still going on with that fucking Sandy Hook thing. And it's like, how long has this been going on?
And they had even it's the media that is keeping that hyped up. What they said, he didn't say. He asked questions. And in the court transcripts, and I think that I'm right, you can go to his website on InfoWars, and I'm sure somewhere through there you could find the court transcripts, that they said in so many years that he had talked about it for 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. That was it.
And
everybody has the right to be incorrect.
Yes.
And to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And to ask for forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I've really realized, like, and that this has been happening for a while. When the drama community started on YouTube, back in like the 2010s, I think it was 2013 through 2016, stuff like that. And then it really blew up.
Mm-hmm.
that's when people started just clapping at each other, just barking at each other left and right for stupid reasons. Some of them were justified, but that's really when you started seeing people like turn against each other.
Because there was money to be made.
Mm-hmm.
Years before that, the National Enquirer, because if it was between reading the National Enquirer and the Weekly World News, Bat Boy won every time. The reason being, the National Enquirer, these gossip magazines and all this stuff, that they are putting people's lives out there with the gossip and the slander and everything to try to make $1.
Mm-hmm.
And these are real people. They have feelings.
Yeah.
They have a right to privacy, all these things. And so it's like, no.
Mm-hmm.
And so the National Enquirer had their asses sued largely years ago. And somehow people have not learned.
They lack critical thinking skills at this point, sort of, kind of, maybe a lot.
And some of these people have done so much more. And they even had somebody that was, I don't know, he was some kind of government, somebody that admitted on camera that their intention was to destroy Alex Jones.
So it was a whole, well, we already knew this, but I'm just saying. Yeah, it was a whole fucking setup to basically wring him dry of money, get rid of his business, all that.
Shut him up and shut him down.
Yeah. And the questions that he posed to begin with were not nearly as bad as what some other people were fucking saying.
No, it wasn't. It was very similar to the questions of what happened there recently with the CNN going in and miraculously finding a dude under a blanket.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what? I didn't hear that.
Yes, you did.
When was this?
Yes, you did. I don't know. It was a couple of weeks ago that he supposedly had been... come to find out, he was one of the terrorists.
That dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. That whole thing was scripted and set up. It looked like a bad found footage thing.
Yes, and that's just like recently as far as the suspect with the, thing there in Las Vegas and stuff, and I think it was that one. I don't think it was the one from Louisiana or New Orleans. I don't know which one it was, that they supposedly let reporters, her in her yoga pants, for real, go through where this person had lived. And it's like, what? No, that's crime scene. You don't.
Yeah, you're messing with evidence. What is the word that I'm looking for? It's like, but seriously, that's a crime scene that is restricted. You cannot touch or move anything.
So what makes you,
Because, if you touch or move anything...
We're living in the Truman Show, I think.
Yeah, but if you touch anything from a crime scene...
It contaminates it.
Exactly.
So, something ain't right. That was just like the people asking the questions as far as there on Christmas or whatever, the Pope opening that one portal or whatever it was, and yet there were cameras already on the inside. And it's like, what?
It's been opened before.
What? Of course. I mean, I lived back when Geraldo Rivera opened the, whatever it was, Jimmy Hoffa's, I can't remember, I think it was Al Capone's safe or something, and there was nothing in it.
Huh?
Nothing.
All that effort for
Geraldo
nothing.
was just renowned for making an ass of himself. All this hype, they didn't give a shit. As long as somebody, that their advertisers, they hype that stuff up, that people will tune in, then they see all the advertising. That's what it's about. It has nothing to do with programming. All that is a vehicle for advertising.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of the insanity that's been going on, being revealed.
I'm wondering, well, shit. all of this is one big fucking psyop.
It is. And talk about
Psyop.
personal insanity. We're trapped in the house with 12 cats. Oh,
Send
God.
help. Send help.
And it's one of those that I had opened the door this morning. I was blessed. I had about 2 or 3 hours to myself to where I was trying to just collect information, get myself going and everything like that. And then everything broke loose. Phone started ringing, calls on top of calls. I'm sitting there talking to one person. I see one of the cats run through, and I'm like, oh, dear God, it's caught a bird. It's brought it in the house.
He did.
So to try to get that out, and it's like, the bird was already gone. And I'm like, damn it, man. You did not have to do that.
No, but I mean, the bird would... It's just what cats do, though.
I know it is, but I hate it, and it's just...
He who brought a mouse in through my window one time and dropped it in my room.
Yeah.
In a box.
Yeah.
And I was squalling and screaming.
Yeah.
And I grabbed it up by the tail and I flung it out the window.
Yeah. Well, that was what the bird and the... God. It's just that. And then it's going to be in the 20s and stuff like that for the rest of January to find that out. And I'm like, lovely.
Wait, what?
I hate winter.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Yeah. It already hurts. The snow's beautiful. It is beautiful, but it's just the cold.
We're recording this on January the 6th, and it already feels like it has gone on for decades.
Literally, it already feels like we've been through all 3 months of the season.
Well, not only that.
And then some.
You got drones. There's questions about what the hell are those.
I'm not
You've got
hearing
this
jack
fog. There's questions about what the hell that is.
I'm barely hearing anything about the drones anymore.
Oh, and it's like some of this stuff, we have no clue what is going to happen between now and January the 20th. And that was like Dan Bongino today. I was trying to listen to him because I'd listened to some of these people because I believe they know things. And that's when the phone call started, and I'm like, oh, God. And they just didn't stop. And so he was saying that it would not surprise him if there was not a Pearl Harbor style thing in the near future.
That's
some shit.
Scary.
Sure, it's scary.
And then that's oof, some Pearl Harbor shit. Like that's full on. Civil War.
It was national. It was international. So. It's
true.
Interesting.
People have been saying we've already been in World War III for how many years? I don't know.
We have. That's part of the psychological warfare, and it has been against average peoples. To turn average peoples against other average peoples. Mm-hmm. And you can sit and, as far as the news, and I have to really, really limit it, because like we were talking on the previous cup, some of the stuff that is coming out is just absolutely like something from a lower level of hell. And you can only put so much of that stuff in your spirit before it starts affecting you adversely. And I'm like, no.
I'm wondering what you're talking about because it's like some of the shit.
Because I have had to dive into some really deep, dark stuff in some of the jobs and stuff that I've done. And some of those things I did not talk about because they were so horrific that I just didn't want to repeat them.
Right. Because there is some of that shit that's just, oh, fuck, no.
Right. Yeah.
That's some fuck shit.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff that people honestly are so unaware of.
Yes.
And ignorant of. And to an extent, Lord, please bless those people that do not know the true level of evil that is going on in the world right now.
If they don't need to know. I mean, that's just like Mom. She's 80 years old. And some of these things I do not tell her because there's nothing she can do about it. All it would do is just burden her down.
Mm-hmm. She doesn't need to know it.
And have other people been asleep for a long time? Yeah. I think a lot of people are waking up. I wish more people would be waking up and going, what the hell have we allowed to happen? Now, I will agree with David Icke on this, that there are, as far as these elite Luciferians, whatever the hell these are people, there's fewer of them than there are of us.
Mm-hmm.
And that if we stand up and like Gandalf do the "you shall not pass."
You shall not pass with the staff and everything. All
I
at
don't
once.
even have my sound bite on this computer. I've got to put all that back on the computer. I didn't even have that damn.
Yeah, I did transfer the stuff.
Yeah, I've just got to do that. Yeah. So it's been crazy, and I expect the crazy's going to go on for a while longer. And I think that Palmer had said maybe around March or April on some of this stuff get a little bit of a break.
I hope that comes to fruition.
He's usually pretty damn accurate.
Yeah.
You got to watch. And it's like, because he's another one, I don't deify him. But he's got a good track record on some of this stuff. But as far as infighting and backbiting and all this stuff, and it's like, don't fall for that. Mm-hmm. It's planetary alignments. It's all these geomagnetic storms. Everybody's on edge. And it's like, please pause and, count to 2 before you get ready to, say something hurtful or hateful to somebody. Because you can't take words back. You can apologize, but that hurt is still going to be there. And somebody does not have to forgive you.
That's true. That is true. Forgiveness is a privilege.
It is. It is. And there are some things that you can forgive somebody, but that does not mean that you have to allow them back in your life.
Right.
It does not mean that what they did was okay, ever. And having worked with kids that have been hurt horrifically,
mm-hmm.
Forgiveness was for them just to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as to sit there and go, no, it'll never be okay, ever. What they did was never okay. How do we help you heal and move forward? So when I hear some of these stories of these people that cover up people that hurt kids, me personally, I would like, this is what I need to do, honest to God. If I had enough money to invest, you know what I would be investing in? I would be investing in wood chippers.
Yeah.
We need fleets of them coming through.
We do. Well, I don't know if we're going to be... I don't know. Have we seen a wood chipper recently since Duke got sucked into it?
Really? This is that, if you've ever seen the movie Fargo.
I've never seen the movie Fargo.
There's a reason. There is a reason on these things. But it's like there are some things that it's just like, I don't care how broken somebody is. It's just evil. Mm-hmm. And there are certain types of evil that... No. And I pray about this. I truly do. And it's because when you get into talking about capital punishment and stuff like that, it is or is it ain't. And that was like the movie Nefarious. That was the one of the questions that was asked there. Is it murder when you take somebody that is a harm to society and you are there people that have forfeited their right to continue to live on the planet? Is that up to us to determine?
That's a good question because some of the people...
That's a hard question.
It's really hard because like some people just cannot be out in public.
No. No.
And so what else do you do with them other than, if they done some horrendous fucking crime?
I think that there are some crimes that, as far as the death penalty, I think that it is a matter of... And like I said, I pray about this, and I ask y'all to pray for me too, to get greater understanding on this. Mm-hmm. If somebody has harmed many, and there is no chance of redemption and stuff like that, I think that sometimes to see that person, to see true justice done, that can bring healing to families. It's not necessarily a matter of vengeance or vindictiveness. I think that, like I said, when you've got somebody, it's a matter of going, they can't hurt anybody else ever.
Yeah. Well, that is...
It brings closure.
Yeah, that's what it is. It brings closure. I don't know. I don't have the answer for that.
No, well, I mean, this is the thing. Nobody really does.
I personally believe, do some people deserve the death penalty? Yes.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that.
Yeah. And I will tell you this, because I have had to delve deep within self over the years and stuff, and dealing with some of the people that I have dealt with, and for people to go, could you, flip the switch or something? And there were some of them that I'm like, yeah. Like I said, and especially if it was somebody that did something to a child because they gave that child a life sentence. Well.
Yep.
So the screaming, and we don't know when it's going to keep stop. It's going to not stop for a minute. Do I think that something very well could occur within 15 days? I think that everything's so up in the air right now, and it's just like, whoo, be in constant prayer.
Yeah.
Pray for us. Like I said, we'd be trapped with 12 cats. 12. Nobody needs 12 cats.
They're
ever.
all in the house.
They're all in the house.
And
I can get up and walk into the kitchen or whatever, fix a cup of coffee and something. I come back and there's one in my seat.
Yeah.
Same thing, I could go outside and sit, and I could come back and there's one right in my seat.
Mm-hmm. A couple nights ago, I had one sleeping on my head.
Mm-hmm. Like a hat.
It was Molly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then this morning, I woke up to Squeaker curled up right beside my face. Like literally, I roll over and I'm like, "Oh, you're there."
Like, what is that?
Yeah.
I can't, because the ones that would be in there at night with me, no, they're never still, and they will pull stuff off of out of the cubes.
They
Anything
will.
Anything that is folded, they cannot. They're little agents of chaos.
They are.
Every one of them.
But they full on. I don't know what it is with those cubes. They love pulling the clothes out of them.
Uh-huh.
When the cubes were in my room, that's all they did.
Yeah.
Even the ones that were, I would leave some like free of space, for them to climb up in, whatever.
No, they don't want those.
Yeah, they're like, fuck that.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that. I want this one. And I don't even want to climb up in it. I just want to pull the stuff out of it.
Yeah. It's like, just because I can. I'm going to do this just to piss you off.
And Molly was climbing my curtains. Literally full on off the headboard, feet dangling, full on climbing up.
That thing that they do, that they will run in front of me and just stop.
Yeah.
Or I'll go to walk and they'll go right between my feet and stuff like that, and I'm like,
oh, it's not just you. They do that. They're trip hazards. They are really trip hazards.
So pray for us.
Oh,
everybody is having the paranormal and supernatural.
Yes.
Everybody. We don't even have to look for the spoopy stories. All you have to do is just look at the main headlines. That's it.
That's true.
Yeah. You want to tell them where we can be found?
You can find us on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube at Rolanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, Rolanda, COCWS.
Yeah. And kids is there in the description box, so you
It's,
don't have to search too far for his.
Oh, it's that alien.
Yeah. Know that you are loved. Treat other people the way that you would like to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Beep, beep, beep.
Bye.